Sal Amato. It's EDM America TV. We're in the back of the bus here. Drama Club performing live tonight at the Riviera. Sold out.
Sold out. Big room.
Yep, and we're going to have footage for you later on, not only here on the channel, but you'll be able to check it out online. Let's talk about the room, man. How was the energy in the room for you tonight?
Awesome. Thousands of kids going nuts. This is every day is Halloween, man. This is what we do. Beat each other up.
So did you think that you were going to be doing the same thing, or did you want to be an astronaut? Do you want to be an archaeologist? What?
Yeah, I mean, early on, we just wanted to live in Fantasyland and dress up and just be crazy, which we always did. And our parents travel a lot, so we grew up all over the world. Very fortunate, and we were alone a lot, so we got to play a lot, and we got a lot of freedom to just create our own little crazy worlds. And because we moved around so much, we were forced to be best friends because we moved to a new town, you know.
That's all you had.
But it was cool to be able to reinvent yourself every time you went to a new town too. We knew we got cool quick because we knew how to. But anyway, but yeah, this is the first time that we've together done something musically. We've done a lot of musical stuff separate, but this is the first time that we've partnered up to do something, and I think the timing was perfect for it. We were actually in Moscow together on Halloween when we were DJing like an after party, and there was so much energy in the room of Halloween that we looked at each other and we were like, this is what we need to be doing every day around the world. Throwing the raddest parties that feel like Halloween, even though
who
it's
doesn't
not.
love Halloween?
Yeah. I mean, and you're set for it perfect.
That's what
now,
we're doing.
When you were younger and you're playing you played instruments, how did you make the transition, or was just DJing something it's like you want, let me do that too, and how did you wind up incorporating that into the music?
I think it was just a natural progression for us. We both played in bands. We both, our whole lives, jammed and done all that. It's back in 2000, I couldn't take a picture of you and send it to Japan on my cell phone. So, like, I don't need a band anymore, I think you would agree that, like, we feel like this is the natural progression of technology and talent and music. And DJs, we respect the DJ culture, but we've always grown up with entertaining bands that put on shows.
Well, you come from the musician side of things.
So
sure.
we feel like the DJ culture to us was like, wow, imagine what we could do to that. So that's sort of
we always dressed up and played around and stuff and kind of did performance stuff. So for us, it's the performance element's always been in the forefront.
Yeah, I'd rather dress up like Batman than stand up in a t-shirt and a pair of jeans and put a finger in the air and mix records together. Like, that's just not entertaining to me.
Now, how many different looks? I mean, was that the look you got? Was it the first look, or what was the first look you created when you said, okay, we're going to do this? Was this the first look?
For Drama Club, this was pretty much it. But it was with the suits, too. Which, when we're off stage, we're a little different. But on stage, we like to wear the suits and the ties. And also, truthfully, the part of the original concept was that as much as it's every day is Halloween, it also keeps us equal to the crowd. Meaning that we all get to go and have the most insane party in the world, but once we leave the building, we're not elevated anymore. We're not doing this so that we can get free beers at the pub or so that we can walk through the mall and have people want to talk to us. Like, we're doing this for the party, the music, the experience, the positive energy that everybody takes away from it, and we get to go home too. I like the anonymity so that I get to go to Subway tomorrow afternoon and I don't want to be elevated outside of the party.
You want to be able to have your life.
And like I said, it keeps us all equal.
Yeah. Musically, what are we looking for coming up in 2015? I mean, we're almost done with 2014. Can you elaborate on anything?
Not really, because we're trying to put the different deals together, but we have so much music in the pipeline. The one thing that we're really excited about is, since being on this tour and starting to sort of get a buzz going and people more understanding what this is now and what our live energy is about, we're starting to get a lot more positive responses back for the collaborations that we've been trying to make happen. So I can't talk about any of them right now, but I can tell you that our goal of Drama Club has always been to collaborate with other artists that we are inspired by and that we can bring into our party to make it even more insane.
What's your thoughts on the? I mean, the scene. I mean, in general, how far it's come. I mean, we started in the '70s, so seeing how far it's come. Looking electronically for electronic music production from where it was to where it's at now, and the things you can do. Where do you see it in the next few years, and where do you see Drama Club in the next few years?
I hope that we're spearheading making the electronic music fan expect more from the artist on stage.
Mm-hmm.
In the studio, clearly the artists that are getting the recognition in the electronic world are very prolific, and they're amazingly talented, and they make such amazing music in the studio. But I'm very disappointed with what a lot of them put on stage. And to us, it's about taking what people currently accept as an entertaining live electro house DJ performance and smashing it to pieces.
Expecting a show. More,
yes.
Put on a show. I mean, once again, like you said earlier, put your finger up and spin around. You can't do that anymore.
Beat matching is not difficult, man.
Yeah, I mean, anyone can do it now. That's really true. I mean, what else you bring into the table?
My 13-year-old nephew can sit there with turntables and can beat match. Like, it's not hard. Knowing how to work a room, I respect that. DJs know what songs to play to keep a room moving. But I think, A, you have to be a producer, which most of the respectable DJs are. B, in my opinion, I'd like you to have some musical ability outside of that to sing and play and those kinds of things. But the next step of it to me is a show, and that's what we do. And again, we love everybody, man, really and truthfully. Like, for us to win, nobody has to lose. So we wish everybody the best, and if you follow your dreams and do what you do. But our dream is to smash what is currently considered an acceptable performance from an electronic act.
It's similar really to like a rock concert. When you go to a concert, there's guys who just sit up there and play their guitar and stand in one place. I mean, there's guys that light up the room. And I mean, judging from what I've seen online footage-wise, wow, okay, these guys put on a show. I mean, it's more about entertaining.
Yeah, and also creating an environment for the music fan to come to and participate in that same abundance of energy and to express themselves however they choose. But again, it's kind of cliche and silly, but really we want people to think of our parties as Halloween no matter when.
What's your thoughts? A lot of artists, especially now with SoundCloud and the fights and between the royalty structures online, a lot of artists giving away. The same artists that are giving away a ton of music. I mean, this is from my perspective from being in the industry, giving away their music all day long to gain that numbers and to gain those fans on SoundCloud or wherever they're at, keep gaining numbers. And then they talk about the cheapening value of music. So, but I think I see where I get it, where there's a trade-off where if you can get enough people following you, hopefully you'll get enough gigs to offset what you're giving away. You have any thoughts on any of that whole concept of giving away the music to get the numbers, to get the bookings? Any thoughts on that?
I mean, I can't disagree with it. I think it's a different age. I'm not in the record business. I'm in the music business. To me, I'm much more interested in people coming to a live performance and having that live creative experience, because that cannot be replaced. It's one of a kind. It happens differently every night. Recordings...
It's organic, it really is.
I agree. Recordings, they last forever. I believe in the modern music business that the singles and the songs are more the delivery mechanism to invite you to the party. They're like business cards, if you will. It'd be nice if they had more value, because a lot of work goes into them and a lot of expense goes into them. But if I'm planning on doing this for a living, and I think that my living is going to come from people buying music, I probably should stop. Cool. That would be my suggestion to anyone.
And it's good advice probably because you said we're in a different age. I mean, it's not the 80s, not the 90s anymore, where you're going into the studio, and you got your 2-track master, you get your studio engineer, you got musicians, you got this, you got that, and And then you got to manufacture it, and you got to have the physical product, and you got to get it distributed, and you got to ship it out. And if the distributor doesn't want it, doesn't sell, they're going to send it back to you, and you as the label, you're screwed. You don't have all that to deal with. But you have an ability right now where, I mean, you're building your fan base, you build your fan base,
Sure.
and you really, I mean, even though it is still the business, it's the business of music. It's not the record business anymore.
Absolutely.
It's the business of music.
And I'll take you a step further. I don't even want to be in the music business. I want to be in show business.
Yeah. And you generate your revenue by being a performer and entertainer in show business. Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's about the show for us. It's what this thing started as. It's about a fun party with no judgment, where everybody's equal and everybody can just get freaky and have a great time and feel safe. Very, 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 like, I can't be more clear with this, how accepting we are of all races, creeds, colors, sexual orientation. Come to our parties and be yourself.
Live and let live.
There's so much hate and stress in the world anyway. Like, there needs to be more outlet outside of that, and that's what we're creating.
So how do we find you on Facebook?
DramaClubMusic.com. DramaClubMusic.com. That leads you to everywhere. Facebook.com/DramaClubMusic. At Drama Club Music 1 on Twitter. Instagram, Drama Club Music something probably.
Yeah.
But DramaClubMusic.com gets you
Across the
everywhere.
board. Now, what do you listen to that most people wouldn't think what are you into musically that most people would never assume that you check out?
Motown, man.
Yeah.
Both love Motown. Our parents raised us on Motown.
How about Philly International?
I don't know that.
That was right after Motown.
Oh, I missed that.
Lou Rawls, Harold Melvin, and the Blue Notes.
Right.
Kind of like Earth, Wind, and Fire. But that
Yeah, love Earth, Wind, and Fire, though.
Well, now as a musician, I mean, you guys, so you had to love all those studio musicians back
They're
in the day.
amazing,
It's
yeah,
amazing,
I mean,
really.
My father used to put those records on, and I just used to, it was great. Yeah, awesome stuff.
There's an energy that comes out of that music that's rarely duplicated.
I mean, Michael Jackson early on is just ridiculous.
Yeah, but he was a little guy.
Unbelievable, and what an entertainer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, when you look at any show, man, and even like with like I said, what I've seen, it's about entertaining people, because after a while, like, you're spinning records. What else you got?
It's about connecting the energy.
Giving people an outlet.
Because really, like, it's up to the artist or the performer within the first 2 tracks to really give out that energy, and then when the crowd returns it, there's a synergy there that you can't get on a record, that you can't get walking into a grocery store. There's something about a live show energy relationship between the performers and the audience that is just so beautiful, and it can't be replicated anywhere else.
Well said.
Thank you.
You're welcome.